Welcome to VHS Voyage, where we're on a journey to find, watch, and discuss movies on VHS we've never seen or never knew existed. I'm Matt.
I'm Devin.
Today's episode, we're going to talk about
Amazon Women on the Moon.
Devin, this is a movie that I don't know how to talk about. And I also don't know how I feel about the movie.
I think it's one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I found it almost as unbearable as Evil Alien Conquerors.
First off, though, hit us with some facts and information.
I'm going to have no facts here. I could not find really anything interesting. And I'm going to say what the movie says in the opening credits. There's lots of actors in this.
I was going to mention that, too.
So I'm not even going to go through the act because I'm just going to do what the credit says.
I just realized there is a Mr. Potato Head on the tape. I don't remember there being a Mr. Potato Head in the movie.
Yeah, she has a baby and they bring a Mr. Potato Head in. This movie's not good. I'm telling you. That just explains how stupid this movie is.
Okay, so I guess the best way I can explain Amazon Women on the Moon, and we'll talk about some of the segments in the movie and things like that. It's almost like a collection of parody short films strung together in an incoherent way.
Well, what it is there's a guy flipping through the TV.
Flipping through the TV, yeah.
And it's going to the next channel, and the next channel is this stupid skit, and then he flips to another channel, and it's a stupid skit.
That's the word I was looking for, skit. Yeah. It's like a series of skits strung together.
It says it's an anthology movie, but it's not.
No.
To me, it felt like all these writers and directors had a bunch of dumb ideas and they were like, let's get together and make this movie. And they just made this movie.
And I feel like this is one of those movies where somebody either likes it or they hate it. I don't think there's really much of an in-between here. Yeah. And then it cuts to a segment where it's just a fully nude woman walking around in a street talking, and she sounds like an idiot. I didn't understand that.
Right. It's just a guy flipping through the channels. Yeah. It's like he just went...
Yeah.
And it flipped to the next channel, and this is what was on the TV.
Yeah, and then it zooms out, and you see a guy, right, in his living room. Yeah. And he ends up getting sucked into the TV.
Which I didn't get that at all.
I didn't get it either. He's in his wife. He's like calling for his wife, trying to get her to help him. And she's like, every time she changes the channel, he ends up in that new channel.
Yeah. To my remote.
Sunny skies for the remainder of the day. On today's national weather map, showers embedded in those clouds, and here in the southern, excuse me, sir, we're on the air.
So then it cuts to a hospital segment that kind of opens up like it's a sitcom, and it's like this couple, they're in a hospital, they gave birth to a baby. The doctor is very weird. He's kind of a jackass. He brings them their baby, but it's a Mr. Potato Head. They're freaking out because they just want to see their baby, and he's like saying their baby was misplaced and all this crap, and the dad threatens to sue, and the nurse ends up finding the baby in a laundry hamper.
It's supposed to be funny apparently, but apparently bringing a Mr. Potato Head wrapped in a towel is funny.
I didn't laugh. I think there was one part of the movie that gave me a chuckle.
I have one skit that I liked. And
which one was it?
Blacks Without Souls. The reason I like that, though, is I love when other races make fun of white people.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's hilarious. When people do impressions of white people, of another race does an impression of a white person, I think it's so funny.
I think the Republican Party has done one heck of a job. Don't you, June?
Safety and good mileage are the two things I looked for in a new car. That's why I bought a Volvo station wagon.
I'm president of the David Hartman fan club here in Glendale. I've even met David Hartman once.
So then there's like a recurring thing in the movie called Amazon Women on the Moon. It's like a 1950s sci-fi type movie. These guys are going on a journey to the moon, and it's like, so it's almost like you're watching this movie every now and then in between the skits, and it's like it keeps getting interrupted, like the film melts and all this other crazy stuff. I didn't really understand the point of that.
And I don't know why they named the movie after that.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I feel like this movie should have been named like Dumb Skits in a Row.
Skits in
a row. I don't get how this name makes you think that's what the movie's about.
There was another segment where the guy from Police Academy, the main guy from Police Academy, I can't remember his name, but he knocks on a lady's apartment because it's a blind date. He gets in there and they're getting ready to go on their date to a sushi place, and she's like, oh, first I need a credit card and an ID so that I can check your background. And he's like, okay, well, you're not going to find anything. So he gives her his credit card and ID, and like, she puts it in this machine and it spits out all this long like sheet of paper, and she's able to like read what his sex life was like, all the women he's been with, things he's said to them, how he's treated them, and all this other stuff. And then she's like, I don't want to go on a date with you. We're not compatible. And
the statistics don't paint the picture of a mature man. 12 times you ignored your date at a party to flirt with a more attractive woman. 169 times you feigned interest when a woman was talking about her career.
Well, am I tripping balls, or was there a part where the Loch Ness Monster was a serial killer?
Okay, that's the one that I liked. Okay, that's the segment that I chuckled at a little bit.
It was because it was making fun of like unsolved mysteries.
Yeah, it is. It was called Bullshit or Not.
Yeah, it was making fun of Ripley's Believe It or Not Unsolved Mysteries. Sorry.
Yeah, but it almost was like making fun of both. I felt like, but yeah, it was called Bullshit or Not. And they were talking about Jack the Ripper, and they were like, Jack the Ripper is actually the Loch Ness Monster.
This skit reminded me of those people that believe every single conspiracy theory on the internet. World War II didn't actually happen.
Gravity's not real.
The Earth is flat. Sorry, I probably did offend one person in our comments with that one.
Yeah, there's an inner hollow Earth. There's 7 continents.
Antarctica has a secret hidden base under it. It was almost like making fun of those people though, which was kind of funny because I'm sure there's one person out there that does think the Loch Ness Monster was Jack the Ripper.
Oh, there's got to be at least one.
Yeah.
Oh my, you are a big one now, aren't you? Come on, darling.
You know, I kind of enjoyed this next segment a little bit too. It was the Critics Corner segment. So this guy's watching these critics. They were like, well, we got a new segment. We're gonna review the life of an average man. And they start reviewing the life of the guy that was actually watching the TV, even predicting his death of a heart attack, which he ends up having.
Here's a loser trapped in a dead-end job and a loveless marriage.
How do they know that?
Fake commercial segment about video pirates. So it was like a pirate ship that was attacking another ship so they could steal their VHS tapes and laser discs. And
Forgot all about that.
Yeah, so it was like a segment against pirating.
Oh, by gum, Captain. All the latest home videos in beta and VHS.
Aye, some so current, they're still in theatrical release.
Like the first lady, it's called First Lady of the Evening, and it's like she's like sleeping with everybody in the White House or something.
I think by this point I was out. I think I was mentally detached myself from this movie.
There's this couple, they're a young couple, they're making out in a car. The guy's like, hey, let's go park by the lake. And the girl's like, yeah, but you need to stop at a drugstore first so you can get some condoms. So he goes into this drugstore. He ends up kind of chickening out, getting ready to leave, but then he sees the girl outside and he gets his courage up. He goes up to the pharmacist. He asks for a tube of toothpaste and a box of Titan condoms. All of a sudden the store fills up with people, and there's a cameraman and like a host, and he is the 1 billionth customer for Titan condoms. So they make him the Titan condom mascot. Talk about how his parents are going to come there. He's going to get a lifetime supply of Titan condoms.
Thanks, Mr. Gower.
And then there's, after the credits, there's some black and white segment involving Carrie Fisher.
This pissed me off. I got something to get off my chest. I'm pissed. I got something to get off my chest.
Here we go.
I leave the room because I'm so glad this movie's over. I'm about to cook dinner. I had not eaten anything all day. I was starving and I felt like shit. Like I felt sick. So I was like, I'm going to eat dinner. Matt goes, oh, there's another scene at the end of the movie. The movie's not over. So I come back into the room and I'm like, okay, let me watch this scene. It's the worst. It might be the worst scene in the movie.
Made no sense.
It wasn't funny. I watched this scene. I go back out into the kitchen and Matt's wife's in there cooking dinner. So now I can't cook.
Oh, yeah, she did start cooking.
And it took her 3 3 hours. So I had to wait 3 more hours to eat just because I had to watch this stupid ass scene, because every Friday at 8 o'clock, we got to get a VHS Voyage episode out. And I had to wait 3 more hours to eat something. I didn't eat food till 9 p.m. that night, and I felt like shit. And I had to sit through this awful movie.
My final thoughts on the Amazon Women on the Moon. It's definitely not a keeper, because I wouldn't watch this again, and I don't really ultimately like it. It's weird. It's a weird movie. It doesn't make any sense. It's hard to talk about. It's hard to explain. What are your final thoughts?
Yeah, it feels like all these directors got together, and because they were like pitching ideas to Hollywood, but then you realize they're pitching dumb ideas. So they're like, why is Hollywood not accepting our ideas? So they just got all together and said, let's make this movie where we just put all our ideas together. Just like how nowadays everyone has to have a podcast. So it's like me and my homies are going to start a podcast. That's what they did here. They were like, me and all these people are going to get together. We're going to call up our friends. Hey, can you come star in this one scene in this movie? It reminds me of like movie 43, which is considered one of the worst movies ever.
Yeah. Amazon Women on the Moon. It's going to be a giveaway. So if you want to enter the giveaway, check the Instagram page, VHS.Voyage, for information on how to enter the giveaway.